I kind of knew I was going to be a graphic designer since I was about 14. Although I would have preferred to do art, but it was that sort of, expectation of like, how am I going to earn money? How am I going to make a living? So I ended up studying, becoming a graphic designer. I moved across to fashion, and that's where I've been ever since. I was always interested in fashion and textiles and making garments in my teenage years. It's just that I never really did it. I went through different areas of design. I started out doing print graphic design, and then I went into websites and multimedia. And then I started doing a bit of toy design and Manchester design and babywear design, and that's where I got into textiles and fashion. These are not necessarily garments that are day-to-day wearable garments. These are actually art garments. My canvas is the human body rather than wood and actual canvas. When someone else puts it on and puts movement into it, the garment gets another life, and that's amazing for me as well. I love fabric manipulation, I love fashion, but I like not having such a commerciality about the pieces that I do. The garments that have the denim in them, they belong to a body of work called Reclaim Thyself. That is all about nature's ability to reclaim the man-made. But the garments have come from inspiration like abandoned buildings, paint peeling, cracked plaster walls, and it's also about plants growing through these things or developing a symbiotic relationship. They create interesting textures, and so for me that's interesting to interpret into fabric and garments and see how I can bring them to life. I don't like fabrics to look too perfect because it's that texture or that treatment that gives the fabric the life, I feel, and the story behind it, rather than just flat, brand new fabric. If I'm upcycling shirts and jeans and things like that to go into another garment, all those little extras that are on there, they help to create more life in the final piece. Generally like something that looks a bit worn or distressed. I believe in creating original ideas and taking inspiration from the outside world. Each treatment, texture or piece that I come up with has come from a process of experimentation. The urge to layer it up or work it up, it does relate to nature and the shapes and the colours that it can make. It's illustrating that relationship and allow the fabrics to tell you what they'll do or how they should look. My urge to create is always there, and Even though I might ignore it or do other things, it's always there and it has to come out. It is fantastic when someone wants to buy something and take it home. You're like, oh wow, it's going to a good home and someone loves it. That's fantastic. And for me, it's the creative process as well, like to actually creating it. And it is fantastic when you see people enjoying what you do.